You and Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark brought forth a council resolution 09-289, the foreclosure chattel bill. Explain to the viewers what exactly it does, and what did you come up with? Where did you and Councilwoman Clark come up with this?
Well, Councilwoman Clark and I, we had both attended a town hall meeting that Acorn sponsored several weeks ago, trying to raise awareness of the foreclosure and eviction problem here in Baltimore City. And one of the things that they were asking of the council was for the council to support them in their effort to get the sheriff to just voluntarily stop evicting people, just have a moratorium on the actual evictions, because this is being done in other places. But here in Baltimore, the city council doesn't have the power to direct the sheriff to do that or to not do that, as the case may be. So Mary Pat and I were both looking for what could the city council do? What is something that's regulated by city law that we could affect that would help protect people who are in danger of being needlessly foreclosed upon and evicted? And what we both came up with, and that's why we're doing the bill together, was the eviction chattels law. The state regulates foreclosures, the process of actually doing anything with the mortgage, because the state regulates banks and other lending institutions. The city, we're responsible for dealing with the trash and other debris left on the sidewalks when somebody gets kicked out of their house. And so we have an eviction chattels code to deal with that. And under the current law, when somebody is foreclosed upon and then they're evicted, you have to, by city law, send them a notice 14 days before the actual eviction, after the foreclosure sale has happened. What Mary Pat and I came up with is we've lengthened the notice period from 2 weeks to a year. Now, this has two benefits. As Mary Pat says, it buys time. It buys time for the person in the house to figure out what they're going to do next. It may even be possible at that point to walk some portion of the foreclosure back and try to regain their house. What I see as probably the even most effective part of it is that it is a tremendous disincentive to the lender to foreclose upon a house, because now they know if they foreclose on the house and sell it, no matter how long it has taken them to go through the foreclosure process, it's going to be another year before they can move anybody else into that house. So what we're hoping is that this will be a short-term bump in the foreclosure pipeline, and it'll cause lenders to say, hey, given that, I'd rather work with the person in the house and try to modify the mortgage or do a forbearance or any of the other potential ways to get some little bit of cash during the hard times without kicking the family out into the street.
Okay, but wouldn't it have an adverse effect when the banks would say, you know what, we're just going to not lend in the city of Baltimore then, if you're going to take it from 14 to 365 days?
Yeah, I've heard bankers say that. Personally, I think that it's a threat, and it's one that sounds very scary to people, which is the best kind of threat. But frankly, I know how many houses there are in Baltimore City and how much money there is in Baltimore City. And no matter what some of them may be saying now in an attempt to try to scare the city council out of doing this, I find it really hard to believe that even, with this bill passing and that extended time period, some bank somewhere is going to say, well, I got the whole city to myself if I keep making loans. And